That we've all been talking about. Mahindra & Mahindra is actually the top Nifty loser right now after confirming that they have picked up 3.5% stake in RBL Bank. So Nisha joins us. She broke that story earlier. Nisha, first of all, congratulations on getting that spot on, but take us through all of the details here.
Thank you so much for that, Pavitra. Yes, that has been confirmed through a stock exchange clarification by both the companies, RBL as well as Mahindra & Mahindra, of really buying 3.5% stake in RBL Bank in this particular month and have spent about 400 odd crore rupees from their balance sheet. Now, the further clarification as well as a detailing that was put out by Mahindra & Mahindra has really spooked the market. They have said that they may go up to 9.9% in RBL Bank. So the street is of the view that there has to be a proper articulation of the strategy of the capital allocation by Mahindra & Mahindra, which is an automaker and a non-core investment. Is it strategic in nature, and what purpose does it solve for at the group level? So those important details are really missing from the public statement made by them, but an important statement that they could go up to 9.9% is also giving a lot of consolation to the investors of RBL Bank, who over the years have seen the overall stock price fall and now has been trending at 52-week highs. So M&M to articulate the strategy is going to be very, very critical, and the stock is plummeting in the absence of any such articulation, and also more details on what the company intends to do with RBL Bank stake.
Nisha, thank you very much for that. This is the biggest single-day drop for M&M share price since February of 2022. Now, the question which arises is, will RBI allow a corporate to buy stake in a bank? If yes, then how much? Latha's here with us in the studio with her take. Latha.
Well, there is no bar to going up to 9.9%. The Reserve Bank rules say that if anyone is taking a 5% stake in a company, any one single entity, you have to take permission at 4.9 to cross the 5% mark, and take permission again at 9.9 to cross the 10% mark. But for 10%, it is very clear that no single entity can hold over 10% unless that person is a widely held international financial body, like a pension fund or the International Finance Corporation. Those may be allowed beyond that 9.9% mark. Now the question is, what can M&M do with this 9.9? Will they get to go from 5 to 9.9? That looks very easy. I mean, both for RBI and RBL, it would be very good. RBI is very happy if a bank gets capitalized, and RBL would obviously be happy when they are getting more capital for the asking, as it were. But RBI, I think, will have a hawk eye to ensure that even if there is a board member of representing M&M in the board, I mean, you can be entitled with a 9.9% stake. They'll be very careful to see that he's not part of any audit committee, NRC, nomination and remuneration committee. You won't be allowed to take meaningful decisions because there will be this feared conflict of interest. They will also watch out with a hawk eye on whether the kind of loans given by RBL show any partiality to M&M, MMFSL and their constituents or their customers. So they will be very careful about that because they don't want that kind of conflict of interest. Now the question therefore is, as Nisha asked, what is the purpose of M&M getting a 9.9% stake which you can't meaningfully utilize as a board member? Will they ever be allowed to increase even more and meaningfully own a banking license? At the moment, my answer to that would be well nigh impossible, because the issue has come up repeatedly in India, and as recently as 2020, an RBI appointed internal working committee recommended that RBI should consider giving licenses to corporate entities with due protection. In 2021, RBI approved or accepted 21 of the 33 recommendations, but the recommendation on corporate licenses was not accepted. It was, well, politely told put on hold, but it was clearly a polite no from Reserve Bank, and that's as late as 21. Will RBI ever change? All over the world, many of the countries don't give corporate conglomerates banking licenses. For instance, in the United States, they don't do that. Reserve Bank has in particular been worried about it. If I look at the last 2 decades history that I have been covering the central bank, they have not given. And sometimes, even when their back is to the wall, For instance, Yes Bank and LVB happened practically, one after the other in terms of troubled banks. For Yes Bank, RBI literally helped SBI go with the bowl to every bank. And in the end, 25% came from SBI and another 25% from various other banks. But they didn't go to any corporate. Mr. Chandrasekharan is a member of the board, right? I mean, there have been enough instances when they could have reached out, but they didn't. Mr. Ajay Piramal was knocking at the door. He could get DHFL. He couldn't get any banking license. Likewise, when LVB, they didn't mind going all the way to DBS, Singapore, to help sort out that bank. They didn't reach out to any of the corporates who are cash rich, deeply interested in finance, in NBFCs. So the behavior looks like 9.9 will be at best a financial investment, which RBL would relish, but not further.
So Latha, just to recap, the rule and the policy as it stands right now, there's an absolute no-go for banking licenses to corporates, even with the clauses like diluting stake over a period of time.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. There are three categories of ownership. One is for corporate entities. You can go up to 10%, or any entity can go up to 10% with RBI permission. 15% is allowed for these widely held financial institutions like a pension fund or a well-regulated international institution. 26% is allowed for a promoter like Uday Kotak, a promoter who does not have a conglomerate.
A business group.
Yeah, does not have a business, does not have manufacturing and other interests, will be allowed. The maximum is 26%. Those are the three categories allowed.
Okay, got that. Thank you very much, Latha. Very helpful to, completely remind ourselves of the policy that's in place right now. Thanks for joining in. Well, we do have to take a quick break.